Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be joined by Dave Cannon, who's been the National Sales Manager now at Gunn for a while. We've been working together for, over 17 years.
Yes.
It's a long time.
We were there at the start.
We were there at the beginning. We're still here, we're still going, so we must be doing something pretty good. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing the Gunn & More range for 2024, which is exciting. Yep. Lots to tell everybody. So as we head through this video, we'll be talking a lot about the bats, and we'll also be looking at all the other ranges that Gunn & More offer to supplement your bat range.
Yeah, no problem at all.
So as we move into 2024, Dave, there's a few bats staying the same, and there's a few new ones.
So we have
talk us through it.
We have three bats that have remained as they are from last year, in the Hyper, the Brava, and the Krios. Two bats that have been rebranded, restickered, and that's the Radon and the Diamond. And then we have two new bats this year in the Aion and the Mana. So if we talk our way through each of them.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be most excited about the two new ones for next year, 2024. Exactly. So let's start with the Mana. The Mana. What can you tell us about this?
So the Mana, those people who follow Gunn & More for a number of years will know that we've used the Mana name before in the past. It was one of our first 540 blades. So what we've got there is we've gone back to a blade which is a shorter blade but a longer handle configuration. Currently in our range we actually have three bats that are 540 and three bats which are 555. So 55.5 centimetres long, with a short handle or longer handle and the shorter blade.
So just to show exactly what you mean by that.
There we go.
The bats are still the same,
exactly same length.
Same length. It's just
length of a short handle.
The blades are slightly shorter with a slightly longer handle.
Exactly.
In comparison.
In theory, for the elite player, it will quicken your bat speed. So if you think you're elite, look for a 540. To be perfectly honest, it doesn't matter what I'm using, I'm still going to miss the ball.
I think even if you're not elite and you want to whack it, I think you get much better hand speed, power through the ball. So probably it probably suits depending on your game.
Exactly.
Okay, colourways.
So we've gone for this lovely blue and electric red with the colourway on the Mana. The other thing with the Mana, it's the only bat now in our range which has a concave back.
Okay.
So the market is slowly moving towards more fuller profiles, but actually there's still a number of people that like the concave because it takes the weight out of it. So as such, it will be very nice and light in the pickup because there's less willow there that you're actually picking up.
And that's available in most weight ranges?
It is. You'll find that it will run from about 2.7 up to 212.
Yeah.
Every piece of willow is different. And as I always say to people, don't just take it that you want a 2.8 or a 2.9. Come in and pick all the bats up. You'll be surprised. There could be a 2.11 that can feel, in theory, like a 2.8, and vice versa. So always best to come into the store, go through the bats, and see what you like.
So that's the Mana. Also new and exciting for 2024 is the Aion.
Yes.
What do you want to tell us about the Aion?
So the Aion is actually as far removed from the Mana as you can get. The first thing that you had, one of the things you had with the Mana was the actual face of the Mana is what we call a 4.5 roll on it. A 4.5, that's the drop from the middle of the bat down to the edge. Whereas on the Aion, you have a 2mm drop, so it's an F2 face as opposed to F4.5. So you've got a flatter face profile, very much as we had last year in the Brava.
Yeah.
What that does, it's got a low middle, so very much a driving bat, whereas the Mana was more of a slightly higher middle, so covered all aspects and probably more of a back foot player's bat, but very much a front foot driving bat, big edges, low middle, not as low as the Brava, but a lower middle. It's a powerful bat, big powerful bat with striking graphics as well.
Yeah.
Both of these bats have also got the new fuse grip on them. So it's new for 2024. It's just a nice, comfortable grip. Not as aggressive as the hex grip as we've had on some of the bats in the past, which is a bit Marmite. Whereas that one, I think you can't offend anybody with that grip.
Yeah, I think that's probably quite a solid grip for everyone. That's not going to upset many people. Definitely agree with you. It's got quite a high spine in here, pretty rounded around the middle, but there's a lot of wood in there.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it'd be interesting to see what happens when we test it, but you're going to get a lot of value there.
A lot of power
for your shots. I really like the. We always say on these videos, you never should choose bats by the stickers, but I do like the new colourways. They're pretty striking that you've brought into that one.
Yeah, that's very much, and those colourways have run through in other things, which we'll look at later.
Well, in terms of striking stickers, that does bring me on to the Diamond. Now, for those of you that know the Gunn range, or if you don't know the Gunn range but been watching Ben Stokes for about the last 4 years, this won't look unsurprisingly too different, but what is noticeably different is the graphics that we've gone with.
It is Ben specific. That's in the sense that what we've done in conjunction with Ben is we've been allowed to utilise the graphics of his tattoo. Now, the pride is what you've got with Ben's tattoo, the lion, and he's allowed us to put that into the sticker. It is something completely different. I haven't seen anything that striking before. The bat itself hasn't changed from last year.
No.
You've still got a full profile f4.5 540 blade with the hex grip. But actually, as I say, it's that look. Ben, you may have seen in the last couple of games that he managed to play in the World Cup. Unfortunately, he wasn't available from the start, but he was using that bat, those stickers throughout the World Cup.
So this has been a popular bat over the last few years, certainly here at Sirius and amongst a lot of people. Originally, when we did the bat reviews on this, we talked about how Ben worked in conjunction with you to design the bat, so that it got all the specifications in that he wanted as a player. I think this has gone just another step further. I mean, when you're taking his own individual tattoos and putting them within the bat, that graphically is very striking. And if you want to feel pretty much like you use in Ben's bat, you've definitely got it now.
Yeah, it is the Ben Stokes bat. The Diamond range, he's the only one that uses Diamond, and it's exclusive to Ben. So that you know, if you've got a Diamond product, it's a Ben product, endorsed. So,
staying in the range, we're not going to go into too much detail with these three because we've already done some bat reviews on these from last year. So if you are interested specifically in the Krios, the Brava or the Hyper, have a look at our bat reviews from 2020, the 2023 range.
Yes.
But it's not surprising they're all still in the range because they're very good bats.
Exactly. Very worked really well. To be honest, over the past year, we've had the likes of Ben Duckett utilising the Krios in the Ashes and the Test Arena. He's basically taken that opener spot and made it his. He was using that. The Brava was nicely showcased at the end of the Ashes by Mr. Broad, yes. It's quite a feat to go out of Test cricket by the last ball you hitting it for a 6, and the last ball you bowl, taking the last wicket to win the Test match.
Only stuff me and you could dream of.
Well, exactly. And the Hyper, as you know, the graphic is seen around the circuit. Lots of players use the Hyper. Very, very popular bat. It's good all-round bats we've got there.
And then the final one, the Radon, that's really just had a colour change.
It's had a colour change. Like the Radon, you can get an absolutely wonderful bat with a Radon. Unfortunately, the thing we have with making all of our cricket bats in this country is we are trying to utilise every piece of wood that we bring in. All of our wood comes in as a tree. We split it up. We don't know what we've got until we split it up. And sometimes you look and you think, some of that isn't graphically wonderful. Actually, we paint it and we put a face on it. But actually, it could be an absolutely gorgeous bat to play with. Don't get put off. For value for money, that's where you can go.
We talked about the Radon again last year. This is a really good entry-level bat for people.
Yeah.
Certainly in junior cricket, it's a great entry-level bat. Even in adult cricket, you're still going to get
value for money.
Good value for money in a piece of willow. What people really want to know is, we've got all the different families of bats, the different colourways, the different graphics. How do you actually, where and how do you actually go about making the bats?
We have a factory that is making thousands of bats per year.
Where's
Many
that?
thousands. Based in Nottingham. We've been based in Nottingham since 1885. We're actually on our third location, but believe it or not, only a second factory. So we had one factory that we used from 1890 up until 2000, and we've been in our current premises since 2003. We needed to go a little bit more upmarket, or actually where we've moved to, everything's on one level. Where we used to be, believe it or not, we used to make bats upstairs and have to ship them down.
So how many bats would you make a year?
We're probably trying to look at getting somewhere in the region of high 20,000, 30,000, something like that, out of the door.
Out of that 20,000,
Yeah.
how many do you have to give to Mr. Ben Stokes?
Oh, I don't know, about a dozen.
12 bats a year.
I'll tell you one little story. He played last season, not season just gone, but season before. We'd sent him 6 bats for the start of the season, and he used 5 of them in the first game. And there was a worry that there was something wrong with them. And when we contacted him, he said, no, just testing them out. He managed to score 100 before lunch that day and scored 150. So you think to yourself, well, 150 using 5 different bats, that's not bad going. So
That brings it back to about our average of about 30 per innings. So that's
Yeah,
that's not so
exactly.
bad. There's hope for all of us. Yeah. Okay. Other players that you've got, we've talked a bit about Ben Stokes. Other players you've got that represent him, Gunn Moore?
Newly added, or not newly added to the central contract brigade, we have Ben Duckett, as we're saying.
He's done well.
Actually had a really, really good Ashes season, and has taken that position with both hands. Ollie Robinson used our stuff. There are plenty of players coming through in the ladies' game. We've got Amy Jones and a few others. We're always looking for new blood, and actually the thing is, at the end of the day, you just want somebody who's going to promote your brand and do it to the best of their ability, and it's going to show off our products in the right way.
So, talking about the brand then, we've gone through the bat range for 2024, which is really exciting. I'm going to put you on the spot now. I can't remember if I did this last year, but which one do you think we're going to sell the most of?
It's going to be a toss-up between the Diamond and the Aion.
Okay. I'm not going to answer the same question, because what we're kindly going to do, that thanks
You're
to
going
you,
to test them out.
we're actually going to test them in the nets and we're going to have a go. And then after we've done that, I'm sure I'll make a prediction as to which one I prefer or which one's going to sell well. So we've got a great bat range. You've also got pads and gloves to go with.
Yes, so we've got 3 ranges in colourways this year. So we have the Diamond range, as Ben endorses and uses at the top end. We also have our traditional range, which is the black and white range. The 808 comes into that area. It's sort of almost Krios colourway. The great thing about standard colours is the fact that it won't affect it. It matches everything. We also have a range with Mana colourway in it, so a bit of blue and a bit of red.
So there's colourways to suit all bats. There's
price points, ambidextrous for those who are just getting into the game, and the parents. It helps them to sort of say, not too sure what he's going to use. There you go, have ambidextrous pads.
So full range of bats, pads and gloves to suit. Footwear, we've got some footwear here.
Updated the footwear range this year. We have these
from a look point of view.
Exactly. So we've got the Aion colourway, which is the fluo with the cyan, I think it is, colour, which is very vivid. We've added a new boot into the range this year, so we've got a stability boot. We've not particularly calling it a bowling boot, but with the strap, for a lot of people, on a Saturday at a certain level, they will use it as a bowling boot. So we've got we've got the stability boot, full spike, and then we've got spikes and rubbers in both the Aion and the Krios colourway. So if you don't want any colour, Don't have to have colour. Okay. New knitted top with TPU toe box, so having not just mesh, but a little bit of safety, a bit more support around the end. So that's what we're doing on our footwear range
and
for the
bags.
year. Bags. So we've got the Aion colourway, the Manor colourway with a variety of bags. Our bags we have, like these are a couple of the bigger ones. We have a variety of wheeled bags, wheelie duffels. So that seems to be quite popular. We do that in the junior range as well. And then we've got the big duffels as well. So covering every area and a variety of striking colours. We also do a diamond bag, so that's black graphic with the diamond in light blue and white. And we also have the grey bags that we had last year, which are a bit more traditional. So, yeah, we have a full range we're still doing helmets, things to come on that hopefully next season.
Okay.
We're looking at developing the range on that. Wicket keeping, personal protection, all covered by Gunn & Moore, all stocked. Serious
cricket.
So
on that bright note, Dave, thanks so much for coming down.
My pleasure.
It's brilliant to explore the Gunn & Moore 2024 range review. Yep. It's become something we do every year now with you, and you're really kind in that you give us a first look at it before it's launched and out there. If you've enjoyed watching this video, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. There's more videos coming, and kindly, in a minute, myself and Hinders are probably going to go in the nets and try out the bats so we can give a proper detailed review on each and individual bat for 2024. Dave, thanks once again for your time.
My pleasure, Neil.
Good to see you.
Have a good season.